Well, it's the third week of LCS here at the studio. I'm joined right now by Ryoma for our first interview. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware. Welcome to the LCS on behalf of me, the LCS guy that greets you at the door and tells you to come on in. No, so you, how's it been transitioning over this? Because I know during the offseason, everybody was like, what the hell? We got this random guy from New Zealand. And it's like, no, it's Australia. From New Zealand? And how's he going to be? So what's it been like for you transitioning into the LCS?
When I heard about all that, I was a bit nervous. Like, it made me even more nervous than I was. I was just like, well, why does everyone hate me already? But I haven't been playing too well, honestly. So, I'll try to play better. But when I heard about all that, I was a bit worried. I was a bit scared of like if I lost on stage and stuff. But I think everything's been pretty good right now, and my teammates have all been really supportive. And even if we lose, like everyone makes sure that I'm not feeling like super down or anything about it.
Do you think, given sort of the initial reception, that do you feel like you have a lot to prove?
Sometimes, but I try not to let that go in too much because I feel like there's bigger stuff to worry about just playing as a team. And in Australia, I don't think I was like the best team player. So right now, I think I'm transitioning into like the team, like the mid laner that my team wants.
What do you think it is about Australian players that we seem to have an obsession with them in the LCS right now? Why? What is it you think that's attracting us so much to you guys?
I think like most of the best players from OS were good. They all worked hard. They all had their reasons of why they were good. Like Destiny's in EU and he's playing really well, and FPI is in Golden Guardians. They were like probably our best players as well. Like they were like we had like at least 10 players that were really good in OS that probably could have been imported. And yeah, I think now it's just like LCS have noticed that like these guys are actually good and they work hard.
Yeah, a compatriot of yours told me that you guys have a line which is like, when the ping is low, the mechanics will flow. Is that what the line is? What is it?
I don't know, but I don't like NA ping.
Well, okay. But so whenever I'd heard that was like a us saying or whatever was about the ping because you guys have very low latency there.
I get 8 ping at home, so it's very different from playing here.
Yeah, what is it like? Do you just feel like you're in slow motion or something? I mean, how's it?
In America, I feel like I'm in slow motion, but when I get home, well, when I'm playing at home, I just feel like it just feels good. Like it just feels like the studio. Like you're playing at like pretty much like LCS or something, or any like you just feel like there's no lag, just no lag at all.
Have you had to adapt to it? Has it been difficult?
There definitely are champs that like are harder to play. So like some champs like Syndra, I feel like you need to lend most of your skill shots. So if you're low ping, like if you're high ping, it's gonna be rough, but it's kind of whatever. You still gotta practice your like pretty much the same things.
Well, I just had to sit through that Team Liquid game, and I did not have a good time. Because it felt like one of those games, not because of you guys winning, but because it just felt like one of those games where, like, everything went great for you guys at the beginning, bad for TL, and I feel like in scrims, at least, I don't know if they still do this, but normally that's when they're like, FF, go next, let's remake or whatever, because that game felt so decided early on, but then just dragged out, multiple Barons, Elders, etc. What was your impression of that game?
Um, I didn't do much, but my team were actually really smurfing. So all I knew was I just had to hit minions and push my waves correctly and just do the right map movements, and we'll win the game. But it was a bit slow. We definitely could have played more aggressive, like in the mid game when we got the soul. I think everything started slowing down when we got the soul. So yeah, I don't know, but hopefully we close out the game faster next time.
Did you guys have any nerves going up against, or did you personally have any nerves going up against TL just because obviously they're, I guess, reigning champions in LCS?
Yeah, I'll touch on that. I think Jensen's probably like one of the better mid laners in the league. I think him, Bioxen, and Niski are very good. So I feel like there is a bit of nerves when I verse them. Like I can feel like just a bit like of a tingly feeling, but I try not to let it get to me too much because I know if I can just keep up my individual skill as well, I can keep up with them as well.
What do you think the cap is for, or the maximum potential is for 100T this split? Because I feel like the way the org has sold it is like, hey, like this is a building split. Like we're reconstructing, we're bringing back some old favorites, we're bringing in some new faces, and so I think it's not like 100T has come out and been like, we're winning first place this split, baby. But what is your impression? Because it does feel like you guys have been maybe even exceeding a lot of the expectations the community's had for you.
Yeah, even though like we say it's like somewhat of a building process, I feel like we have a lot of potential and it's already showing. And for me at least, it's definitely a lot of building for me. There's a lot for me to learn still, and if I can just work up all that, I'm pretty sure we can like win it all.
Someday in particular, that game looked insane. Obviously, Someday is known to perform incredibly well, but what has it been like playing with him this split?
Sunday's probably one of my closest teammates, along with Will and from my bot lane. Well, everyone's pretty close, but
Well,
I'm
so one of
really
my closest friend mates, as well as or teammates, as well as the other 3 people on the team.
It's alright. It's alright. No. Like we got really close at the lately. I think he always plays pretty well. Like he always does what he needs to do, his job. He always like makes sure he does it. And then when he has a lead, like that's when you kind of know we're gonna win the game. Like he demands. He's really demanding, and like he knows what he wants when he has a lead. So he's trying to help me with that a bit as well. So hopefully I can do the same. But yeah, no, he's awesome. He's actually MVP right now.
Have you say he's trying to help you with that? Do you feel, is it a struggle for you to call on what you need from the other teammates?
Sometimes, but I think I've been getting used to it lately. Just like something I'm working on. Like my overall goals has been that. So yeah, I've been working on that, and I kind of copy the way Someday does it as well. So I look at how he communicates it, and then I try to pretty much transition it to the same way I do.
Your fellow Australian, Papa Smithy, is pacing off screen over here and was yelling at me as I started to poke fun at you. Has he been living up to his name as Papa? Has he been looking out for you as you've moved over?
Yeah, definitely. He's looked out for me since day one. Since like he's messaged me, he's made sure I was always okay. So even when I came, when I came to LA the first time for business. He wasn't around yet, so I didn't know what it was like. But he said he really wanted to meet me, and then I was obviously nervous, but yeah, since then and throughout now, he's been taking care of me, make sure I'm always okay, and doing what a GM needs to do.
Yeah.
Probably doing.
Is there anything in particular he makes sure? Does he stock? Oh man, what are the? Oh, Tim Tams. So does he make sure you have Tim Tams and other important Australian foods?
No, he doesn't. But he makes sure I'm always fed.
Okay, good. Very good. Well, is there anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have much fans in America, but
Yeah, they're building.
yeah, it's building. But now to my fans, I didn't have the best showing, still the best gameplay today. But I think I'll do better tomorrow, and I'll try to keep working on it.
Well, looking forward to seeing you progress over the course of the split, and welcome to LCS. It's great to have you here. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, I'm joined right now by Sivir, who is faceless, much like we are all faceless against the forces that keep us from having fun. But you can fight back against that by winning an Alienware desktop and monitor. There's a link in the description below, alienware.com/Travis. You can sign up over there. They're giving away the same setup that they use here at the LCS, which is really cool, by the way. Also, LCS, Travis 10 off. Travis 10 off. If you want to use that code while you're at that link, you can buy something. You can save 10%. It's quite a good deal. Either way, thanks for watching this content, and thanks to Sivir for joining me. It's kind of weird choosing to have a face. I feel like that's makes me uncomfortable.